Hello everyone, it's Monday night. I don't know the date. I know it's just gone 7 o'clock. I'm late, I had to go for a wee, sorry. Yeah, I've got no numbers yet, so I don't think anybody's watching. So I'm hoping that you can hear me as usual. Becky, yes, good, I've got somebody watching. Lovely. Yeah, so I don't know if we're on week 7 or 8 or 9. Completely lost track. No idea. Who have we got? Becky, Denise, Rachel. Hello. Hello, ladies. Hello, Holly. Oh, this is my favourite bit, seeing who's here. I'm hoping all my usual ladies are here. Monica. Hello, Monica. Monica has upgraded me today. I now have mascara because I have no lashes left and a new red lipstick, courtesy of Monica and her fabulous little sideline, which if you want a new lippy or a new mascara, contact Monica on our page and she'll put you in touch with everyone. Sorry, she'll sort you out. Oh, Jenny's here. Oh, do you like my fringe, Rach? Yes, yes. I've had a haircut, folks. I can actually see. When I say I've had a haircut, don't worry, nobody needs to report me. I've done it myself. It's amazing what you can do with a nit comb and a pair of craft scissors. And those of my friends will see that on my personal Facebook page. But yeah, it was doing my head in, and so I gave it a trim. Oh, Jen, I'm glad you like the lipstick. Hello, Chris, you've got flour, so you can play along tonight. I know that. Sarah Clifford, hello, honey. Welcome to the Bake Off show, Cook Off, whatever you want to call it. The check's in the post. Thanks, Mon. Okay, so tonight we're doing biscuits, which quite an easy one. Sadly, it means I don't get to use my hand blender and it's a bit more labour intensive. I made 2 batches today and my bloody arms are killing me. So, yeah, it's a bit of a workout, which is good. Great to see you smiling. Oh, thanks, Jake. Yeah, I'll be honest, it's been a funny week. And, yeah, but I'm here, I'm smiling. This week's another week. I am today wearing Kermit. And I'm here. And I'm so glad that you all tuned in. How many? I got 38 of you. So now there was one lady who wanted me to make gluten-free shortbread. If you're watching, give me a wave. Oh, hi, sweetie. Oh, thank you. Hello, Piers. Hello, Yvonne. Oh, we've got folks still joining us. This is great. So these of you that just joined, it's biscuits tonight. So today, Matthew, I made a batch of shortbread and I made a batch of gingerbread. Now, if you're not fans of ginger, it's fine because this recipe is really basic and I'll show you what you can switch out the ginger for and switch. Oh, I'm back. Looks like we've got technical issues again. Jane, hello Jane. Hello Amanda. Is it Amanda? Is it you that wanted the gluten-free shortbread? Anyway, I'll go through that tonight. I'm going to make shortbread first with you tonight. Now I know a lot of you have been asking for me to make Millionaire's shortcake. So I'll show you what you can do with your shortbread for a very quick fix on how you can get your own Millionaire's shortcake that the family will be absolutely in awe of, and it won't have took you very long at all. Bit of a cheat. I don't do this for the shop, but I do it for home for very quick when we're having a party or anything. I keep losing connection, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm hoping you can all still see me. It cuts out and cuts back in again. It's not you, Amanda. Oh, I can't remember who it was. Anyway, they're going to be dead chuffed with me because I've made some. Hello, Vanessa. Hello, Kerry. Right, okay. So, now, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Biro book. I'll be honest, I've got absolutely tons of cookery books. Yeah, well, tens of cookery books. But my absolute favourite is Biro, and I think I've got about 6 copies. Tonight's recipes have come straight out of the Biro book. So if you have a Biro book at home, you've got the recipes. But I'll talk you through, well, I'll show you how easy it is if you're worried about making biscuits. Dead easy for you to do with the kids. Dead easy to whip up. And it's super cheap. So give the kids something to preoccupy themselves, because then you've got the decorating afterwards if you want to. Brought up on Biro, same here, Hull. I even had because I lived with my gran and great granny when I was a kid, we had an old Mrs. Beaton book, which was a very unusual book, but Yeah. So we're going to start off with shortbread. In my B-row book, it's called Petticoat Tales, and it shows you how to make the big round one. But, you know, you can use it for anything. You can do it as, you can shape it into small rounds or just do the big one. Okay, so for that, this is a plain flour recipe. And you use plain flour for this one, just because you don't want it to rise. It's quite a dense biscuit, rather than a squishy biscuit. Very technical, squishy biscuit. Hello Sharon, who else we got? My favourite book too. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love B-row? But you've got them for the family. Yeah, do you know, yes, can't beat the B-row book. I should have shares in it, to be honest, the amount of people I tell to go and buy one. So it's dead simple. It's literally plain sorry, I keep losing connection. It's plain flour, butter and sugar. I keep phasing out, so I am sorry. I don't know if you can see the blip when I do, but I'll just wait for it to catch up. So, yes, dead simple. So, and then when the shortbread's in, we'll make the gingerbread biscuits. Now, the shortbread you don't need to roll out, the gingerbread you do. Well, if you haven't got a rolling pin, you can make it into small balls and we can do it that way, so panic not. Right, so we need 9 ounces of plain flour. Now the one I made earlier was gluten-free, and I used Dove's plain flour, and I used half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. So if you're gluten-free, absolutely dead easy, same ingredients, just with the addition of half a teaspoon of xanthan gum, which you've heard me talk about before, and you normally find it on the free from aisle, and it's spelt with an X. X-A-N-T-H-A-M or N. Xanthan. Okay. Plain flour. And into that we add 3 ounces of caster sugar. Caster sugar's best, but if you've only got granulated, it's fine. Oh, there we go. And then, if you're vegan or you're dairy free, just skip butter and use marge. It's dead easy. I'm going to use butter, which has been out all day and it's still solid because our kitchen is so cold. So today I'm using Kerrygold. You can use absolutely any brand that you fancy. There are other brands available. This was the only one in my corner shop. I'm supporting local and not the big guys. Hope you guys are all doing the same. And to that I need 6 ounces. So as I say, if you're vegan or dairy free, just substitute your butter for the spread that I always use. Do you know, it's nearly a whole block of butter for 6 ounces. Look at that. Not good for my slimming world. And then what chunks? Because it's easier to manage a little chunk than a big knob. I think, oh no, we won't get into that. With all Mr. Trump on the TV, I think we've had enough of big knobs at the moment. Right, now that's it. That's your 3 ingredients. And then what you're doing is, like we did for the scones, we are, what's the word? Rubbing in the fat. Okay, hair looks good. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Did you see me post about my knit comb? You can use a can of beans instead of a rolling pin. Holly, what a brilliant idea. That's fantastic. Mandy Whittaker, hello. Have we found the lady that wants the gluten-free shortbread yet? Are you at the party? Sasha, are you watching tonight, lovey? I've not seen your name pop up yet, but I know you've been watching every week, so I'm guessing you're there. Give us a wave if you're watching, because I don't see every post. Still haven't decided what I'm doing next week, folks, but I think I can rig it up to watch the oven, the hob, so I might do cornflake tart. Any of you watch Corrie? Hello Claire, welcome to the show, lovey. Yes, Corrie, I can't wait to see what happens this week. Don't you all just wish Jeff will get his just desserts? I hope he goes down for it. Right, anyway. Hello, lovely lady. Oh, you are there, Sasha. Hello, lovely. Are the kids watching as well? Your kids would master this one with the decoration. Now, if any of you do want to decorate and you're a bit unsure on what to decorate with, if you've got, I don't know, spare Easter egg lying around that the kids haven't eaten, just melt down the chocolate, pop it in a piping bag and drizzle that over your biscuits. Or if you want to make a very simple glaze icing, you just need icing sugar, which I know is difficult to get hold of at the moment. Icing sugar and just enough warm water just to make it into a paste, a sort of runny paste. And then you can just ice that on your biscuits. You can buy those ready-made ones, you know, those Dr. Oetker ones in the shops, which are brilliant. The kids love those. They're dead easy. So if you manage to get any of those, they're good too. I realised when I was making these earlier today, I was having to stand on tiptoe. I think I shrunk. I'm wearing the same shoes. You think stress causes you to shrink? I know my brain's shrunk. Wasn't very big in the first place. Right, so mix that into crumbs. Now, this is where you can get a little bit more physical with it. So this is where having hot hands helps into a little football. Yep, and we got everybody. Yeah, everybody's still there, lovely. So you're making a football now with your dough. And if you just keep sort of, like you're making a snowball, there's a good analogy. There, just keep squishing it together. Squish it down on the bottom of the bowl, like you were making a snowball. You need it all to stick together. And the warmer you get with your hands, the more the fat gets a little bit, what's the technical term? I don't know. It gets a bit warmer and it just makes it stick together a bit better. Not very technical, you know that. Now this mixture, according to my B-row book, makes 2 rounds of petticoat tails. It didn't for me. It made one big fat one. But you won't be surprised at that. Right, so. I am sorry, I realised I'm panting a bit. Sound like I'm doing an 0898 advert. 08, whatever the number is. I don't know. Do you even still get those dodgy phone lines? No, actually, don't answer that. We'll not go there. Oh, come on. You did this easier earlier. Right, it's going. So it's a right good workout for your arm here. Now, if you wanted to make this with chocolate chips in, then you'd add them in before you started making your snowball. So you'd rub in your fat and then pop in your chocolate chips. You could use pieces of butterscotch. You could use chopped cherries. What else could you use? Bits of glacé ginger. That'd work nicely. Oh, what else could you use? I suppose you could use a few currants. Might be a bit big. Okay. You could always make flavoured petticoat tails too. But I think with shortcake, the flavour's just there with the 3 ingredients. Now, you know I usually use margarine. I am a big fan of marge for baking. But for shortbread, I think it does make a difference. If it doesn't mess with allergies, and you're not vegan, then use butter, because it really does help the flavour. So there is my nice big fat football, snowball, whatever it is, of shortbread. Now, according to B-row, I'd be cutting that in half, and then you pat it down and form a circle with it. But remember last week, I think it was last week, I said I don't have any silicone pans. A lovely friend of mine has bought me 2 rectangular silicone pans. How fantastic is that? So what I'm going to do is smush this down. Oh, I'm coming out with some right words when I'm doing these bake-offs. I should have a dictionary. stupid words. I've not used dollop yet today, have I? I don't think we'll get to that one today. That's an old family joke, that one. Okay. So look how lovely and messy that looks. So let's tidy it up. So I'm going to use the back of my knuckles. You could use the back of a wooden spoon or a metal spoon. In fact, that would work lovely. Let's do that. A nice big fat tablespoon. That'll make it nice and smooth. Oh, I haven't told you what to put your oven on at. 160, which I haven't done because I'm daft. 160 on your oven. I'm pushing that round. And then in the Biro book it tells you to decorate the edges and prick with a fork. We won't go there about pricks either, will we? So what I did earlier is I just decorated the edges. Can you see what I'm doing there? Just decorating the edge with a fork. If you're a dedicated cake baker, you might even have a proper crimper. I don't. Fork works fine. So I'll do that all the way round. So you can see that, yeah. And then you just need to stab, prick, poke, whatever word you want to use, your shortbread. Ta-da! And that's done. I mean, how easy is that? That's what, 15 minutes and you've got a shortcake. As I say, for the gluten-free one I did earlier, I did exactly the same, but substituted the plain flour for gluten-free flour and half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Exactly the same method, exactly the same, just with the addition of xanthan gum. If you're doing it vegan or dairy-free, just change your butter for non-dairy spread and it will still work. If that was me, I would probably add just a drop of essence just to take away to add to the flavour of it being not butter. Does that make sense? So for me, I mean, an almond flavour would be nice, but it will work. Make a nice plain biscuit. So that's that. That goes into the oven at 160 for about half an hour. It's quite a lengthy time, so it's about half an hour. I was just going to say, have you dolloped? I know, I'm very, what's the word, predictable, aren't I, Kath? Oh dear. I haven't said my duck yet either. Hey up my duck. Right, who else have we got? Gordon. William, sorry. Hello. Hey Amy. Hello Amy. Who else have we got? Mandy, you look at loving the video every week. Oh, Mandy, brilliant. What's been your favourite? Tracy, Mark, hello. Oh, we're up to 51 of you, that's brill. Yeah. So, yeah, I've lost track of where I am. Gingerbread. Okay. You know what? I'm going to use the same bowl. I wouldn't at work, but I am at home. It saves washing up. Obviously, if you've got allergens, new bowl, start again. But I'm going to do this. You love watching them every week. If any of you have missed the previous weeks, because like I say, we're on week 7 or 8. We've done scones, we've done bakewell tart, we've done Viennese fingers, we've done, what else have we done? Can't remember. But they're all still on the Facebook page, so I'll actually do a link this week with them all on one link. Hello Helen, but they're all on there and you can still watch them. The scone one I think has been the most popular, and the amount of people who said how easy it is to follow. Oh, Victoria Sponge we did. Muffins, thank you Mon. Yeah, things, oh, bread and butter pudding. Yep, with you there Chris. Right, so with my technical gadget here, my peg, let me just switch pages. Right, so if you've got the same edition of me, this is the 40th edition, Gingerbread People. How PC is that? Gingerbread People. That's on page 15. Okay, it's like being at school, isn't it? Turn to page 15, children, and we'll begin. Okay, so this is self-raising for these, and I'll show you what I did earlier because I varied the thickness of the dough, and it does make quite a big difference. So if you like a crispier, snappier biscuit, you need to roll your dough quite thin, and if you like a spongier biscuit, like the base of a Jaffa cake, then do it quite thick. So it's entirely up to you. None's wrong, entirely up to you. Oh, thanks, Gordon. I'll catch up. Oh, lovely. We can always watch it again afterwards, Duck. Don't worry. Debbie, I need to watch the bread and butter pudding. Oh, you do? It was lovely. Yeah. And I delivered them out to customers and they all went very well. Fringe looks fab. Do you like it, Helen? Did you see me post? Oh. Who knew I could make a hairdresser? Maybe not. Deb, don't worry, your job's safe. Okay. Although Alistair did make me have a go at his with the clippers. He had to finish it off himself because it wasn't very good. Okay. So, now then, for this one, you need to use your hob or the microwave. Obviously, if you're using the microwave, don't use a metal pan. If you're using the microwave, you want a nice little microwave-proof bowl. But what you need to do is you basically heat all your wet ingredients, including the sugar, and you add it to the dry ingredients. I mean, honestly, it's as easy as pie. So, for the wet ingredients, you need, although it does include sugar, you need 4 ounces of caster sugar. Now, if you want a more caramelly taste, you can use brown sugar. If you've only got granulated sugar, it's fine, because it's going to melt down anyway. So you want 4 ounces of sugar. There we go. And to that, we're adding even more calories because we're adding golden syrup. 45 ml, change that to mil, of golden syrup. I don't buy the tins anymore because I just get in a very sticky mess. So I tend to buy these squeezy ones. Now, if you don't have golden syrup, you could use maple syrup, but that will make it very mapley. Obviously, yeah. Failing that, I don't know. I think you really need some sort of syrup. You could have agave, that posh butter one. Hello, Barbara. How about flapjacks? Oh, okay, Rach. I will put flapjacks on the to-do list. Tim, hello, Tim. Long time. I'm back again. Squeezy much better, yeah. You do get in a mess with a tin, don't you? I get it all over the shelf and it's such a mess. Tip is to use a heated spoon. Ah, there you go. And you see, I love it. I love this tip sharing. It's fantastic. To this, we're adding 2 ounces of fat. Now, I don't think I've got enough butter. No, I've got 1 ounce of butter, so I'm going to use 1 ounce of spread. So again, if you wanted to make this vegan or dairy-free, dead easy, just substitute out the butter and add in non-dairy spread. It's as simple as that, honestly. All these things they tell you need that are dead fancy, you don't. Now what we're doing with that is I'm popping this on the hob, which you can't see, but I'm putting it on a very, very low heat, just for it to melt together, and then we're left with a sticky mess, which I'll show you when it's done. So while that is melting, oh, melting! I haven't watched that while I've been off. I might watch that. The Wizard of Oz. I haven't watched that for ages. Okay, we need 10 ounces of self-raising flour. Now the only flour I've got left is a great big 16 kilo sack, so bear with. I can't lift it. So it won't take me long to get through that sack of flour. Alright, 10 ounce. There we go. In my peas on earth mug, which has become my flour mug. I won't tell Alice it's his favourite mug. Not anymore. Pinch of salt. I don't normally put salt in, but I do find this adds a little bit of flavour, so I add in just a tiny weeny bit of salt. If you're on a low sodium diet, just don't put it in. It's not a problem. And then this needs to, if you're using ginger and you like ginger, you need 15 ml. Or 15 grams. I've got to share this with you. This is my Schwartz one. I mean, this is ancient. Look, it has 20p on the side. The contents aren't. I've washed it out and this gets refilled years. But this was my Auntie Noreen's and I'm so sentimental. How sad is that? I can't throw it away. I know. Saddo, aren't I? It's a ginger jar. I mean, does it really matter? Yes. I am sentimental like that. Right, so the 15ml is actually 3 heaped teaspoons, so it looks about like that. Can you see? Yeah. Now the ones I made earlier for my liking weren't gingery enough, so personally I'd put more ginger in. Now if you don't like ginger, you could do these plain and just not do ginger at all and they will be fine. Or you can add in your essences. You could have almond flavoured, you could have lemon flavoured, orange flavoured, vanilla. You could do exactly what you like by adding a couple of drops of vanilla to your wet mixture and then stir it in. You could add chopped glacé cherries to this. You could add chocolate chips to this. You could add sultanas to this, but not a lot, just a few. So you get the odd 1 or 2 in every biscuit. What else could you do? You could have butterscotch pieces in there. As I say, you could substitute your golden syrup for maple syrup. You could have maple and chopped walnuts in there. So there's absolutely loads of ideas that you could do. You're running a week behind. Tulip cases have come today for muffins. Oh, that's good, Rachel. I ordered some 3 weeks before muffins and they still haven't come from China. But that's understandable. It's a good job I had some in. I've got some caramel flavouring. Oh, that'd be lovely. Oh, caramel with like chocolate chips maybe, or just caramel on its own. That'd be lovely. I'm not good with vanilla, as you know. I like a flavour, but you could be it could be anything. So here I'm just giving that a little stir. The butter's starting to melt. It needs a bit longer. Can you just see how it's starting to? It looks like a thick lemon curd. Now, that's the only analogy I can come up with. I'm not very good on analogies. Well, they're so old-fashioned, it's unreal. Right. Oh, isn't that a satisfying noise? Listen. It's the little things, isn't it? Okay, right. Help for turn the hob off. Don't set fire to my tea towel. Okay, so we've got the ginger in there. We've got the self-raising flour, caster sugar, margarine or butter, and the golden syrup. And this goes into your dry mix. And you get to dollop it in. I thought earlier that I really need a theme tune for when we start and go on air. I mean, Mary Berry, everybody has a little tune, don't they, when they start? I haven't got one. I need Dennis, what's his name, Waterman, to write me a theme tune, sing the theme tune. Okay, now it takes a bit of working because it won't make dough yet. All you're doing is stirring in the wet mixture, and it just ends up looking a bit breadcrumby because to bind this together you need some milk. You only need about 4 tablespoons maybe, so not a lot. So what would that be, about, I don't know, 40-50 ml, but don't put it all in at once. It's one of those where you're adding it till it's binded enough. Obviously, if you say earlier, if you're vegan, dairy free, then substitute your butter for dairy-free spread and substitute the milk for any plant milk. Absolutely fine. If you're gluten-free, you can do this one as well. Just substitute your self-raising flour for gluten-free self-raising flour. And I'd probably add about half a teaspoon of xanthan gum, just so that it stays together a bit better. Xanthan gum acts like a thickener and helps it stay together rather than break up like gluten-free has a habit of doing. Okay, so let me weigh some milk. Now, if you wanted to be really indulgent, you could do this with Baileys and make Baileys biscuits, or any sort of cream liqueur that would work with. I'm not a big Baileys fan, but I'm actually thinking Baileys and maybe like chopped Brazil nuts or something like that would work wonders. Right, so I'm going to measure out 45 ml. then. I know I shouldn't need any more than that. I'm just going to add a couple of tablespoons to start with. Are you all with me? Am I missing anything? Where do I get my spatula from lately? No, this is Wilko. We all love a sticky mess. Hey. Whiskey. Oh, you could make whiskey biscuits. Not sure it would be creamy enough, but why not? You could add a tad of whiskey. I've lost you, I'm back again. Yeah, you could have a bit of whiskey to milk, Helen, and do it that way. That would be nice. If you've got freeze-dried raspberries, you could do raspberries and whiskey, because is that Kraken? No, what's it called? Grenache? Oh, there's a Scottish one, isn't there, with whiskey and raspberries? Cranachan? Something like that. Right, so it's still not binding. So I'm going to put another 2 tablespoons of milk in. And now you're coaxing it to stick together. Right, it's starting to stick. This is where you get uber messy, and where, like me, with my hot little sweaty hands helps, because it binds it together. We're doing like we did with the shortbread, and we're trying to make it stick together. So my hot little mitts are helping with the fat. God. Do you know what? The ab on this arm should be immense by tomorrow. Bicep, is it? Abs? Oh, I get mixed up. Not very good at that sort of thing. Where's Lizzie when I need her? Are you watching, Lizzie? Oh, I'm glad you like my fringe. It was doing my head in this morning. I couldn't see. Right, do you know what? That's still not sticking. See, it doesn't always work first time. Worked beautifully earlier. I wonder if this is like it is on Blue Peter. Never works when you're live on TV, so they have to have one you did earlier. Oh, come on. Right, two-handed job now. What we got? Rum soaked raisins. Oh, you guys are getting carried away. This sounds very boozy. I'm liking the idea of a boozy biscuit. Adult only biscuits. There's a market for those, isn't there? Be like After 8 of the biscuit world. Oh, Kahlua would work nicely, wouldn't it? That coffee liqueur. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to add a bit more. See why I don't make biscuits around. I should have tried this in the processor to see if it worked like pastry, actually. I'll do that next time. Me. Aren't you bored watching this one? I just feel like all I'm doing studying is with my hands in a bowl. I'm very sorry, everybody. It's not the most exciting tonight. Oh, look. It's actually coming together. Lovely. So if, like me, it doesn't combine very quickly, just keep adding a bit of water, a bit of milk until it does. And get your hot little mitts in there. And keep pummeling it. This is the opposite to scones, where I hardly ever touch scones when I'm making them. This is the opposite, it's right hands-on. Oh, this is causing me a hot sweat, this is. Right. I've got a little baking, what is it? A mat. So it's a silicone mat. They're absolutely brilliant. I've had this years. It just goes in the dishwasher. No, it's not from Lakeland. Can't remember where I got it from. I think they're £2 for £1 from somewhere. They're really cheap. But they wash brilliantly. And when you're rolling out, it really helps prevent them sticking to your worktop. And if, like me, this worktop's over 20 years old and although it's in good nick, it's got a lot of dints in it. So when you're rolling out, you don't get the best shape. Right, so now that is starting to really work nicely. You can you see the sheen on the back? Bloody connection on this tonight is dreadful. Hey up, Oda! We need a Vanessa cookbook. I know, Denise is on at me at it. Learning not bored. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm going to do a little leaflet with all the recipes on. It won't be anything technical because I can't afford to have it published, but I'll put together some sort of booklet with it. So there's your nice little, yeah, snowball. Now then, we need flour. Flour. Okay. So what you need to do is put a little bit on your work surface. I'm sure you've all done this before. Yeah. Yeah. What I'm going to do is actually halve this. Because when I did it earlier, there was far too much. Look at that, how lovely and neat that is in there, look. Yeah. There was too much to work in one go. So I'm going to do half and half. Now, it also helps if you put a bit of flour on your rolling pin. Now, as Holly said earlier, and great top tip, Hol, if you've not got a rolling pin, a tin of beans. Now, if you don't have anything like that, I don't know, if you haven't got a tin of anything either, you could cut this into tiny bits, roll it into a ball, flatten it onto your baking tray. It will work, no problem. But this we need to roll out. And because you floured it, you can move it around quite easily. Oh. That wouldn't have made edit for Mary Berry, would it? Sorry, Mary. It shows I'm human. Okay. Now that is because I need a bit more flour on. So I've rolled that out and it's quite thin. I would say that is probably about 4 mil. And then if you've got a gingerbread man cutter, that's great. You won't be surprised to learn I didn't have a star. Well, I do. I have a little tiny one, but he's the use not ornament, as my granny would say. So I've got a bunny. I've got a little Scotty dog. I've got a little pussy. Thank you. I've got an elephant, and then my favourite ones. You'll like these. And anybody that knows me well knows how much I love my horror films, and zombies are my absolute favourite. My sister-in-law bought me these a few Christmases ago, and they're zombie cake cutters. Although that one looks like a really dodgy football. Your pastry. Now if you've got no... Wait for you to come back. There you go. If you've got no pastry cutters at all, or you've got a round, use a round. If you've got nothing at all, just cut it into squares. Or get the kids to do fancy shapes. It doesn't need to be, you know, anything spectacular. Yep. Keep losing you. Hello, Laura. Charlotte's calendar idea. Oh, a calendar, I missed that. Am I going to have to get bigger ones? We're not doing that sort of calendar. Oh, no. I'm going to need much bigger buns. Right, so all you do is cut these out. They should pop out easily. Nothing's going quite right tonight. So on my little tray, I'm using that silicone paper I use for everything. If you've got greaseproof paper, it's a great idea because it helps stop them stick. If you don't have greaseproof paper, then do grease your tins very well so that they'll come off. Oh, he's lost his foot. Got a zombie with a dislocated ankle. Let's do an elephant. There we go. Elephant and zombie. There must be a film with that in somewhere. Cat. There we go. We have a little bunny. And what you're doing is, one of my favourite words from school, you're trying to get all your shapes to tessellate, I know it's a posh word, isn't it, as nice as you can on here, so you can get as many shapes in one go without having to keep re-rolling it. Mr. McSorley, if you're watching, you'll be dead proud that I remembered that word. I wonder where you are now. That's many, many moons ago. Okay. Now these will expand on cooking. So space them out a bit. There's one tray. What have I got there? 2, 4, 6, 7 there. And then, because you haven't got room for any more, all you do is gather up your pastry. Pastry dough, that's the word, not pastry. And if you get it in your hot little mitts, give it a good squeeze, it will come together again because you'll warm up the fat. This is why you don't want to overflour your worktop, because the drier you make it, the less it will stick together. Get your hot little hands around it. There we go. No putting it under your armpit, it doesn't. And all you do is you keep rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Oh, break out into rawhide. Oh, a bit of Clint Eastwood. Oh, if only. Okay. I'm not on heat, honest. Let's have another zombie. Right, which one's going to fit in there? Bunny. Bunny will fit in. There we go. I mean, you're all bound to have a pudsey cutter or something somewhere if you've got kids, because who doesn't make pudsey biscuits around that time? So you must have a cutter lurking somewhere. Okay, so you just keep going like that. I'm not going to roll all of that out. I'll do that later. But you just keep going until you've used all your mixture up. Keep filling your baking trays. This batch I made earlier made 4 whole trays. Yeah, 4. So for not much at all, you get loads of biscuits. So these go in the oven again at 160, but these only need 10 to 12 minutes. It's nothing like the shortbread. So you don't need to glaze them or anything. So these are just 10 to 12 minutes at 160. And that's that. So let me show you what I did earlier. I'm just going to wash my hands. So I've told you how you can make them gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan for both of these. We've talked through how you could substitute stuff for things you've got in the cupboard. This is the shortbread I made earlier, but rather than using standard plain flour, this was a gluten-free one. And what I did was cut it into 4 and then halves again. So I've got 8 fantastic little triangles there. And that is lovely and buttery. Now you could decorate that with melted chocolate when you've done, but I was going to talk you through the millionaire shortcake cheat. Probably best to don't do it with a mouthful of shortbread. So, remember how I said that mixture makes 2? You could actually make 2 really thin bases of this, because look how thick that is. That is a whopping thick. It's almost 2 centimetres thick. So you could easily make 2. Now, standing making caramel is very satisfying, and it's not difficult. It's just very time consuming and it can easily burn. But you can buy this in a tin, carnation caramel. So if you're dairy free or vegan, it's no good for you, I'm afraid. But if you are making your own caramel, I have made vegan with you can buy coconut condensed milk, and you can do it that way, because you just need condensed milk. I can't remember, condensed milk, sugar, and I think you might need syrup. I can't remember. But you can do it dairy free yourself. But if you haven't got time to do it, you can get these tins of carnation caramel in most big supermarkets. They've even got this in my corner shop today, which is why I bought it, and had the bright idea to show you what to do. But what you can do is open that, spread that on top of your biscuit base, pop it in the freezer to set for about half an hour, or the fridge for a few hours. just for it to firm up. You don't need to heat it or anything. You literally get it out the tin and spread it. There's even a recipe on here, I had a look earlier, for banoffee pie. So this is really, really great. I have bought this before and made ice cream with it many moons ago, and it makes a great caramel ice cream. So you could just put that thickly, well, thick or thin, on your shortbread base. You can buy really posh ones called dulce de leche, which are normally in like Sainsbury's on the really posh bit, you know, the posh gourmet section. But it's about five or a tin. It's lovely. So what you do is put that on, put it in the freezer to set for a good half hour, or in the fridge for, I don't know, a couple of hours, and then melt some chocolate. But make sure your chocolate layer is very thin, because this isn't caramel you've made yourself. It doesn't set as nicely as it would if you did your own. So if you do a really thick layer of chocolate on it, when you go to cut it, your caramel will just go outside, and you'll be left with chocolate on top of your shortcake. So does that make sense? So do a very, very thin layer of chocolate on top of your caramel, and then it'll let you cut through that and cut through your caramel, and you've got a very quick millionaire shortbread. So that was the shortbread I made. These are some of my biscuits. So they're nice and brown. Little elephant. A zombie number 1. Oh, look at these. Me and Alice. There's one tray. Well, there's about 3 trays. There was 4 trays. There's only about 2 here because Alistair and I couldn't leave them alone earlier. I mean, he looks just like, I don't know any footballers. Sammy Lee's the only footballer I know, apart from Kevin Keegan. But this looks like a dodgy striker. Yeah, look at that. So that one was a really thick biscuit. Look at that. So that's quite cakey, like the bottom of a Jaffa cake. But I also rolled some really thin. These, I found the thin ones much nicer for me, but you might prefer the thick ones. So you can roll it out whatever you like. But the kids could do this, and they're a doddle to make, and they taste amazing. And they're as nice cold as they are warm. So that's it really. Anything else? That looks like you. Wait, that one. Oh dear. Amy, you're a fruitcake. Your favourite is Millionaires. I love Millionaires. Crowdfund your cookbook. Oh, I wouldn't know where to start. I'm hopeless with that sort of thing. So I hope you've enjoyed it. What is it, 10 to 8? So it's been a 50-minute one. I'm roasting. God, look, I'm almost the colour of my lippy. And that I turned the oven off as well. So just to recap, B-row book if you've got it, both recipes in there. Your shortcake is just flour, sugar and butter. Dead easy. Half an hour at 160. The other one is self-raising flour. This is gingerbread. Gingerbread people. I have to say people, not men. Can't do that. Although I've made gingerbread biscuits and dogs, and you can make what you like. But that is self-raising flour. 10 ounce of that, pinch of salt, 4 ounce of caster sugar, 2 ounce of butter, 45 ml of golden syrup. Then you heat the sugar, syrup and marge or butter until it's melted into a nice little gooey mess, and you add that to your dry ingredients because you've added your ginger to your flour. Mix it all in, and then it's milk just to bind it, and then roll it out and keep going till your dough's gone. And then decorate it afterwards. As I say, we just melted chocolate. Now with gingerbread people in the recipe, you can put little currants for eyes, you could do chocolate chips for eyes, you could do tiny little slithers of cherries for buttons. I mean, you could make rude ones if you really wanted to. I don't need to explain where you need to position things, but you can make just what you like. Gingerbread dead. Yes, I like that. Yes, I have a Walking Dead episode still to watch, so I might watch that tomorrow with a gingerbread zombie. Brilliant, love your Monday baking. Oh, thanks, Rach. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. So flapjacks is up. I know somebody wants, Kay wants cornflake tart. Somebody else wants the Rocky Road, which is dead easy to do. So what time for the gingerbread? So it's all at 160 on your oven, but half an hour with the shortbread and only 10 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven, for the gingerbread. I've made so many Victoria sponges and muffin. Oh, brilliant. Did you make them before, Cheryl, or has the bake-off actually helped? Because it's made my day to think that it's helped people. Because to me, I think I'm really simple. Everything I do is simple because I'm really not a baker. I would never call myself a baker. I can just bake. Rhubarber. I love rhubarbers. The only problem is you got to do like bread dough and wait for it to rise and all of that faff. So that would be dead boring to watch. And I don't know how to do a time delay. But the rhubarbers, they're in my B-row book, Helen. So if you got your B-row book, your rhubarbers are in there. Your way is so foolproof. Well, this is it. You see, I'm a great believer in KISS. Keep it simple. Because if I can, I've always said to people in the shop, if I can do it, you can do it. I can't do brownies for love nor money. I know how to make them, and I can make them, but they don't always end up nice and doughy, nice and squishy, and I hate a rock hard brownie, so I'm not brilliant at those. Mum made a best Victoria sponge thanks to your recipe. I know, Laura, I saw a picture of it. It was awesome. I'm so pleased. It looked absolutely amazing. Mum and Dad love it. Oh, I would never dreamed of making a bakewell tart. Oh, brilliant. Oh, I see, Holly. Mum and Dad loved it. Oh, fabulous. I'll let you in on a secret. I've been asked to do a Zoom. Is it Zoom? I haven't done Zoom before. A Zoom demo on Wednesday for a local WI. So I'm a little bit scared about that. And I know, I don't know who's watching, but I think I know most of you's watching. But I haven't got a clue who's going to watch that. I hope they know what they're in for. Rocky Road would be nice. Do you know what? My Rocky Road is a doddle. I'm a bit worried about telling you because then you'd never buy it in the shop because it's so easy to make. Yeah, so I'm just waffling now. So I'm going to let you go because we've not had tea. I've got a pizza in the fridge with my name on it. And then a gingerbread zombie for pudding. Oh, and these are amazing with custard. Yeah, I know I ramble about custard. I love custard. Custard on everything. But these, if you stuck for a pudding for the kids, stick a gingerbread biscuit in the bowl with a bit of custard on, and honestly, well, when I was a kid, that was awesome. I don't know if that does it now, but you could do that with a scoop of ice cream on and do like a gingerbread man sandwich. Zoom is fab. Oh, good. Yeah, Alistair hates Zoom. Most of his calls are about Zoom issues, which is why he's not a fan, but he's going to have to help me with that. I'm still making more square scones. Oh, brilliant. Right, so have a lovely week, everybody. I'm having this week off as best I can. I'm still doing the Facebook page. No, not Facebook page. Or the other thing, website. So if you need any gifts for any birthdays or cards or anything, website's still going and I'm posting out. The tea company website's still going. So if you need tea, get your order in and I'll post it out to you. Anything else really I'm not doing. Donations to PayPal. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this and you want to chuck a couple of quid my way, that would be lovely. Our PayPal address, and what she's spelling, is enquiries@the4t.co.uk. So that would be fantastic. Thank you. Just while I'm still waffling, according to Boris, I didn't think we'd be lifted this week, but it looks like hospitality. We're looking for the 4th of July at the earliest before we can even look to open. So it's going to be a while yet, folks, before the tea room's in operation. So we'll see how we fare with that. And I'm still waiting to hear on the landlord regarding the boiler. So I'll keep you posted on that one. I deserve the week off. Oh, thank you. I've got a book off the bookshelf ready to read. I haven't read a book in probably 5 years. I know, that's scary, isn't it? The only books I read are catalogues from bloody suppliers. So I'm actually going to take time out to read a bit. I'm all into Agatha Raisin mysteries, which I love those. And I've got loads to read. I'm way behind. Plenty of baking to keep us going. Well, hopefully that's inspired you. I'm sure you've all made biscuits before, but have a go. You know, treat your neighbour, because this will make absolutely dozens. So, you know, you can put them in little sandwich bags and drop them on doorsteps nearby with a little note on with a random act of kindness. There you go. Bob's your uncle. I'm going to love you all and leave you, and I'll see you next Monday. Not sure what with yet, but I will post at some point what I've decided to do. I have self-raising flour, so it might involve that. So at least we've got that. And take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay alert. See you later.